Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's time for some more VS Gaming action here. And armed with my faithful clipboard, I know you all love it so much. We are, in fact, just getting ready to start off with APG versus Energy. It's going to be a real cracker. On the panel this morning, we're joined once again by Succubus and, of course, Reigns as well. Once again, this time showing off the hidden muscles there.
Yes.
Give us a flex, Reigns.
Yeah, I think Tony's got competition this year.
Yeah, apparently it's directly relational to MMR as well. So, you know, you're going to bring up that.
Moving on.
We're going to have another 7K MMR player here soon in South Africa. And we're going to start a sort of casting team, I think.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
That'll be good. And we'll embarrass ourselves.
Well, I've got a long way to climb for that. I'm 4.5. You're 4.5. We still got
We do it for the love of the scene.
Yeah. We did it for the love of the scene.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to spend like the entire year grinding till 7K though.
Wow.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get there myself, actually.
Yeah.
It's hard. And, you know, like, because I was helping Donnie out a bit with, you know, when he was trying to reach it.
Yeah, you're coaching with that.
Yeah, you're just
No,
giving him a
good.
hand, you know. He's getting there, he's getting there. So, obviously, I think it's worthwhile doing a very quick, brief recap of how we got to where we are today. Of course, we are no longer we were without 4 teams, that being Mythic, Veneration, XD, and Pulse. Yeah. So, unfortunately, those, well, you know, I say unfortunately, I guess we're in the final day, we have to be realistic, but people had to go home, and they did do quite a good job at times.
Yeah.
Some better than others, I guess. But we, of course, then left over with Energy Esports, APG, White Rabbit Gaming, and who am I leaving out?
XTC.
XTC is one of us. XTC.
Yo, how can you leave out a Dustin?
Oh, I just wasn't sure which order I had done it
The
in.
Adder Slam.
The Adder Slam.
The Adder Slam. How can you leave it? Please, Devin.
Well, yeah, obviously, later on today, we will, in fact, be seeing the winners bracket final
Yes.
between WG and XTC.
Yeah.
That'll be really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the biggest best of threes. I'm saying that because WRG and EN was a fantastic series to watch.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Even this one, APG EN. Speaking about APG, I saw a very big red dragon in the studio today.
Yeah, I wanted to bring it. I wanted to bring it here on my lap, but we weren't allowed because we already have a little dragon. But we do have the cows back with us today.
We have we have an interesting family growing here. We've got
That's a very
cow,
cool
sheep.
roster. Yeah.
it's cow, sheep. Who plays what in this team? Because there are 5
I
there,
know
right?
Stacey is Reigns' girlfriend, so maybe you should put Stacey on your lap again. Shame. I think she's feeling neglected.
Which one's Stacey again?
Yo.
You know,
Shh, cover your ears,
I'll
Stacey.
stop.
this
it's
isn't the
okay.
first time he's had problems identifying the ladies in his life.
My goodness.
He's a married man, right? So I'm going to get into trouble. Let's not do that.
He's married to his biceps, people.
Yeah.
Let's go with that, sure. I just want... Okay, I'm sorry. I got to go there. So, if our cows and dragons were a Dota team, then can we get like a nice zoom of these guys? Who do you think would be... Like, who's doing what role? Like, what are these positions?
Well, this one over here would be the Ricky, so I'd put him on position 4 because he's a small
Is
one.
that the big... No, because there's a smaller one there.
That's the smaller one. Ricky's a small
No,
hero.
there's a smaller...
Where's
Lucky.
this? I can't even see. Oh, that's...
Yeah,
yo.
the really small
Well,
one.
then he could be Pugner because Pugner's really small.
We have a Pugner Ricky so far.
Pugner Ricky?
I feel like Daisy could be like a Centaur Warrunner.
Daisy looks so friendly. It's like,
Oh, with the choke chain. I don't think so. That's
Yeah.
Daisy, right? The choke chain.
I think it's Daisy, yeah.
but it has an expression of a crystal maiden, you know, the whole smiley, bright eyes. I mean,
So,
that's the small details.
Crystal Maiden that just...
With the choker, as Succubus said.
Crystal Maiden with bloodlust.
With-
How
I was thinking more so like Crystal Maiden going through an identity crisis. Just not sure if this whole Maiden thing was for her in the end.
part of her life. Let her go.
But fine. And then who's like confused? Because I think like Sheep Cow needs something...
Sheep Cow's a bit confused.
Like, I don't know, like Ogre Magi?
But Ogre Magi, we know the gender of Ogre Magi. Look, we all know the gender of Spectre, but I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone new to Dota would be like, is this a female? Is this a male?
Do you want to go with Io then? I mean, I don't think Io...
No, Io is completely genderless, so yes, I would think Sheep Cow would suit Io.
Right.
But we've got 3 supports.
Yeah, well,
We could put Pugner mid.
yeah, we put the Pug in the... But then we need like...
Fine.
I guess Stacey's like some sort of hard carry then.
She does look like one.
I mean, it's your girlfriend. What is it going to be?
Legion Commander.
Fine, there we
Yeah.
go. Legion Commander.
There
it
we
is.
go.
So,
Yeah.
so we now have our full roster of... I don't know how you guys feel about a draft. I think we could have done better.
I feel like this derailed kind of it. I mean, it's APG versus EN.
Because we haven't derailed this weekend at all.
Yeah, sure. It's like
Guess
our main thing. It feels like this tournament is a side sport. It's like what's happening, like just on the side.
All right, of our nonsense.
Yeah,
I actually just think we're the problem. We just
we are the. Yeah,
I say the team that impressed me the most this weekend is probably XD.
Really was. They were impressive. I mean, a lot of guys thinking they would end up, if not last, second last. So, beating
They proved us wrong, yeah.
beating VNR first 2-0 already showed us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if last and second last kind of share the same bracket, so in some ways we could say that they came second last if we want to be mean to them.
Are you trying to make Reddit's happy?
I was trying to make Riz unhappy. And also give Hunter a hard time by proxy. It was.
You have been doing that all weekend.
It really is something I enjoy quite a lot.
It satisfies you, hey?
It's so good. Have you tried it?
I haven't.
Just give it a go.
I can't.
Just insult his Sven. He says his Sven's bad, so.
Hunter's Sven is bad.
Doesn't it feel nice?
Did I just say that on stream?
Doesn't it feel good?
I want to apologize right now.
He said he can't play the hero, so I mean, sealed his own fate there.
Yeah, I guess so. This is honest, right?
He doesn't like this Sven. He's like, it's useless. You can't do anything with it.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's good ulti, there's a stun. There's like an armor boost.
Useless hero.
Useless hero. Yeah.
Basically, like the old Bloodseeker, from that no one ever cared about. And
then suddenly he just became that Bloodseeker is scary to play against. I don't mind playing with the Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker Ags is pretty scary. 2 ruptures.
You see, the thing is, Bloodseeker was one of those heroes from back in the day where I remember they used to have a saying for him: "Run and die, or stand and die." Now it's more like GG easy win.
Yeah.
And the fact that everything's pure damage, every spell he has, also makes him pretty scary. But in competitive play, pub stars, yes.
Yeah, pub stars.
Pub games, I mean, people like Bloodseekers.
That was so funny. If APG is listening right now, it's like, we should pick Bloodseeker. I think that's a very good idea. Yeah.
I mean, that's how that works as well. When we do these events, they're just sort of these players are sitting in the booths just waiting for the cues from us. It's like, they're only going to pick Meepo.
Yeah.
Pick them up.
Pick them up. I don't know.
We still have Visage. I think that cancels it out.
Oh no, the Visage is.
That's not a Meepo.
But you still control.
It's kind of bird-like.
But you still have to have the micro skills.
But it's not the same. I mean, if one Meepo dies, your Meepo is dead. One familiar dies, somebody gets 100 gold.
Yeah.
You're still feeding 100 gold though.
That's why I love playing against Visages and pubbies. Let's see that thing. My eyes light up. And it's generally a random if somebody doesn't know what he's doing.
We expected a Meepo pick in this tournament, and so far it's like 0% pick. Also, the techies, by the way, the techies also 0%. Are we likely to see more techies than
I feel like techies is fine where it is.
Techies must never enter the realm of captain's mode ever.
I'd like to see a chosen one techies mid.
No.
Oh.
I could live with techies if it was like the machine gun build.
Yeah.
Like you get the Dragon Lance, Mask of Madness.
The 250 attack damage at level 25.
Yeah, you peck away at people from far distance.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll wither them down.
Why not?
Maybe.
Why
it's like
not?
a DK, you might be in trouble.
I feel like I share Syndren's view on this. Doesn't belong in the game. Just if you look at the hero skill set, it's just compared to every other hero, it just does not belong in the game.
I don't know. I kind of feel like he belongs in the game. He's techies. He's part of us. He's like every game has that one hero.
I think he needs to suicide and stay dead.
No. I think we keep good old techies. He's ours. He's our irritating hero, and it could be worse. I mean, we could be playing LOL and have that other thing that they always moan about. But it's not the problem with that champion. It's the problem that we'd be playing LOL.
Yeah. No, we have Monkey King as well.
That is the problem.
Let's see a Monkey King. Even though it's like pretty much like dead in the scene right now.
Is there any Hon Trash with me on this panel today?
No.
No Hon Trash. I was going to say, there's some nice heroes there that I would love to see ported. Shout out to all the Hon Trash out there, guys. Okay, so let's focus on this game for a moment. APG versus NG Esports. I'm not going to ask you who your predictions are, because I think we could all solidly agree that NG Esports are big favorites in this one. So I'd rather like to focus on how can APG cause an upset.
just before that, I thought you were going to say, because you were trolling so much in the panel, but
When was
like
it?
we don't need to predict. I think we can all agree that APG is going to win this easily 1-0. That's exactly what I thought you would have said.
Would you like me to? Would you like me to go back in time?
It's too late.
Okay.
Yeah, but you are right.
The thing
I
is,
think energy is comfortable.
I like that trend though, where Devin is completely wrong and we're always right. So I mean, you can always say APG is going to win, and then we'll go, no, energy's winning.
I think panel host has to make his own sacrifices, and Devin's doing a really good job at it.
I feel like that wasn't a compliment. Like I feel like it was a veiled insult. You know?
Oh, yesterday you were like, oh, WRG 2-0. We were like, energy 2-1. Well, WRG 2-1.
I said energy 2-0, but I felt like I had to go against the trend. I was playing Reigns' role there, and then it almost happened, and I was sitting there like, I'll never let anyone live this down.
Actually, that is also a main reason why I think that energy is going to win this 1-0. Well, it has to be 1-0.
It has to be a 1-0,
Yeah.
but I honestly feel like, because it's not the same APG as it was a year ago, energy's got this.
I think I'm gonna go against the grain here and say 9-1 to APG.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna have like Strike and everyone else go into APG's booth. We're gonna play against Chelsea.
You did it, Trains. You were mean about something.
What does that mean?
I think so.
It was kind of mean.
I apologize.
I mean, talking about replacing players is probably the meanest thing we've said.
I mean, if you look at like Depi, for instance, versus ACG. No context. No contest.
Oh, you guys are
No
savages.
contest.
Okay, so to protect my dear colleagues here from ruining all their friendships and basically just being hated by several few.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and use this great opportunity to jump into a video with one of our players. Take it away, guys.
My name is Philip Swanepoel. I captain Aperture Gaming, and to be captain just means to keep everything going in the same direction. Esports is growing quite fast in South Africa, but I think APG in particular as a brand will always be one of the top teams just because of the management and the quality of the players. I think we definitely do. I think we have the best pass record against WG out of any teams. So of course we first have to get to them, but I think we have one of the best chances of beating them. The most competitive member on our team is definitely Chad ACG Simpson. He gets the most emotional out of anyone on our team when something goes wrong and when things go right. Our greatest threat to winning would definitely be Energy Esports. It's going to be a very tough first round match, but we'll have to see what happens. We're probably going to dominate Mythic Gaming. We've had a lot of watermelon this weekend, and I think we're all feeling strong and confident.
Well,
Watermelon.
watermelon.
Interesting.
I was gonna say, like, you know, last time I made a joke about his beard, but you know what else this man has that neither of you do right now?
What?
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Did we all mishear that? Or
No,
did you in fact
I
say
heard
it?
watermelon as well.
I forgot what he said, but it
Okay, production
definitely
friends,
was
this is important. Can you confirm? Was that indeed a watermelon comment we heard?
They're gonna play the replay. They're gonna play the interview again.
Just like one more time.
Make sure.
Right, well, we do actually have another interview lined up as well, so this time, of course, from Energy. Before we jump into that, I want to point out, this is, we mentioned it last night, but it is in fact a rematch of the opening game of the entire tournament.
Yeah.
So it could be quite special for APG if they were able to come back here. We spoke about how they're low bracket specialists. I think they're still not what they once were. They do look like a little bit better at the moment. So should they win this, I think it would be a pretty massive confidence booster for them.
Yeah,
And
Mali was great on the clockwork yesterday, but again, I feel like they were playing an easier game. You know, with, I mean, respect to Pulse, but I mean APG versus Pulse, they're better than Pulse, but are they better than Energy? I'm not trying to put anyone down, but I honestly don't think that they are. They used to be, not anymore.
Yeah, specifically about this game where you have two aggressive APG supports, and I feel that if they play in a safe lane, Chelsea likes to play against lineups like that. They want the supports to go for it, or the enemy supports to go for it, so he can take advantage of them. I like Chelsea's play as an offlaner, and I'm looking forward to see this best of one.
Great. Cool. Let's take a quick peek at one of the NG players. I believe it's the team captain. Let's see what he had to say about the matter.
My name is Darren Reinhardt. My online handle is Chelsea. I captain the Energy Esports, and what it means to captain the team, nothing much really. Honestly, in our team, there's no real captain. We all just, make decisions and stuff. Doesn't mean anything. Yeah, esports is growing at a rapid pace in South Africa. I think our team will probably stay top 3 for the next 2 years unless someone like another Castaway or another Charles comes along and, takes over. It's hard to say. Honestly, I think we have what it takes to come top 2 pretty easily. In terms of winning, we're obviously going for top 1. The reasons for my answer are recent results, really. Yeah, it's just WRG are a very strong team. We're looking forward to playing them. I think everyone on the team is incredibly competitive. Honestly, everyone gets very emotional after losses. I know I got a bit emotional after the WRG loss. Just a slight. We changed drafters actually from that. Yeah. Our greatest threat to winning would probably be WRG because they are the best team in South Africa at the moment, and their play style sort of counters ours because it's always very, very aggressive in the early parts of the game. And even though we're a very proactive team, they're just better than us at it. So yeah. I think this weekend our team will probably dominate APG from recent results, and we're just sort of more aggressive and proactive than them, and they sort of don't really deal with it well.
Well, that's pretty interesting. So obviously, there's 2 things that I think are important to bring up here. The first one, obviously, is that this is a team that they said they're going to beat. I mean, they like playing against APG, which, I mean, if they were to lose here, it would be pretty crazy. After we all have considered them to be favourites, and they themselves admit that they think their playstyle works better against them.
Yeah, and the fact that they beat them in the first showing 2-0.
That was
pretty convincingly as well.
Also, yeah, it's a very, very nice interview from Laka, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Especially talking about APG as well. They play aggressive Dota, and APG does the same kind of, and I don't think they know how to react to their own play style.
Yeah, Laka put it right on the nail.
Yeah.
And also the fact that a lot of these teams have a similar play style, but just some are better at it than others. As you stated, versus WRG, they're just better at it than them.
Yeah.
Rent, you've been sitting alongside me here, and I think you agree with me that Laka's quite vocal inside that booth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is.
If anyone's wondering whether the booth is like here,
Right here, yeah.
I'm touching it right now. So we can hear some of the players. And I mean, would you say that it was a fair comment that Laka made about him not really being a captain that they all are?
I think they have their own rights to have their own good share of thoughts. But in the end, I think in-game, like during fights, if they want to fight, it's going to be Laka's call.
I really like Laka's attitude at the moment because, I mean, we've seen him at LANs for the past 5-6 years, and he's always been that reserved, quiet guy, doesn't really have an opinion. Seeing like him like this for the first time, it really has been amazing to watch and hear. You know, he's like, no, like we said yesterday when we were discussing it amongst ourselves, it's like, they were like, no, we can't go. And he's like, no, we're fighting now. Like, you never see that type of aggression come out from a guy like Darren, you know, it's not happening.
I believe you meant to say Doron.
Doron.
But here's the thing that really gets me is I've been in teams with Laka before. And I can say that from personal experience, he was always quite quiet on comms. He was very reserved and just sort of doing his thing. And every now and again, he would be something, Topper's missing. You guys should really get a solo crest. You know, like it's just like really quiet and reserved. But I can tell you, there's a different man sitting inside the booth at the moment. He's loud, he's vocal, he's the guy. Back. No, we're gonna fight. he is actually controlling the team, and I think he might be a little bit unfair on himself when he says the team don't have a captain, because maybe it's a team where they all have valued opinions.
Yeah.
But I think he's actually matured into quite a great captain. But we do have something special for you all again. And this time it's I guess we could call it a versus interview.
Versus.
Let's go and see. Yeah, you see what we did there. Yeah. Let's go take it away and see how these two teams felt about facing off against each other.
I think we're going to win. ACG and Voke didn't get Aghanim's 19 minutes. It's quite bad timing, I think. Hopefully we can get the same sort of draft going, same sort of style. I think sort of favoured in the matchup a little bit. I think we've had a bit more time to practice. Yeah.
I think we're going to win mainly because we kicked Filthy Frank, so I think we're a lot stronger. He's quite a bad player. I think we got our drafts down, so I think this one's ours.
I kind of really want.
I really want to comment on something.
Yeah. You want to go?
No, you first.
No, I insist.
I'm the nice guy.
I'm just the
No,
panelist.
you're
I'm
not.
just here to
I'm
enable
known
you.
to be the nice guys in
You're
the
not
panel.
the nice guy.
I am the nice guy.
And I quote, right? After Mythic get knocked out of out on the first night.
Yeah.
Right? We meet in the morning, to which we run to Sargon, and we get a classic Reigns. Good luck for your games today.
Who are you playing first?
Oh, who was you playing first? Wow.
Thanks for sharing the outside.
Oh, nothing is sacred
My
here.
outside life.
Yeah, no, I
Reigns did not brain that day.
I switch off as soon as I get out of the panel.
I just the truth is this is nice kind of like likable guy over here, and then as soon as the camera turns off, he's savage. He's a mean man.
No fault, sir. No, it's just.
Okay.
So as we were saying.
So.
Shout out to Jadawi.
I feel like we need to get an interview with him and just con him into saying it. He's not aware of it. At least when we first became aware of it, he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's just how it is sometimes. But all right. So guys, any particular heroes you'd like to see on any particular player today?
I would like to see the Visage again.
Okay.
Strikes. I like that. For APG side, I would like to see on the Bob Yule's Rubik. It has to be played.
He is quite a solid Rubik, and I don't think we've seen enough Rubik.
Yeah, we haven't seen enough Rubik, except for that one game. It was like whatever he stole was just good.
Yeah, it was like exorcism at once. I was amazed, and also Omni Knight's ulti as well. That I forgot who played that hero, but he was amazing. I was old.
Yeah, that was nice. I really liked that, and I think it was against.
Was it a Mythic game?
It was against Mythic.
So it was APG Mythic. It was a Bob Yule's.
It was a Bob Yule's, yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's actually been. So these stats are slightly outdated now.
They've got a bigger dragon than us, guys. I feel like we got cows though.
Yeah.
I feel like we have the best dragon though.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking that one home with me. Rubik was up until Sargon was on the panel effectively. And I don't think there were any Rubik pickups in that game. There were two pickups on Rubik. But perhaps as we head into the draft as well now, we'll actually see if perhaps we'll be lucky and get to be spoiled by another Rubik. I really like Rubik, so it'll be great to see.
Yeah. What I don't want to see is an Odu Weaver. Okay, maybe I do, but I just want him to shine with that hero this time.
I don't know, I feel like he needs to have that carry that, yes, can go into the real late game, but also can fight early. I feel like that suits his playstyle the best.
But that's what I think a Weaver is good at. To be fair, it was against WRG, and I don't think a top clan like that would allow a Weaver to win the early game, and that's why Odu didn't do too well on the Weaver. But as an aggressive team playing against Aperture, I think it is one hero that I think Odu should pick.
Could do something, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I know one hero that I've actually run out of things to say about Warlocks being banned first.
Goodbye, Warlock. Goodbye, Kotzel.
Lock.
You don't even need to talk about him. It's just expected. I'm sure viewers will know it's a Warlock and Legion ban. It's just a Kotzel, but still.
Still 100% ban or pick rate so far in this LAN.
Love it. I love it.
Is he the new Bat Rider?
Maybe.
That's a good call.
Maybe.
Oh, like letting through the Legion.
The clockwork's interesting though. Clockwork, because you don't want to. They don't want to play against the melee Clockwork. He was really good on that hero yesterday.
Ooh, that is a lot of anti-armor very quickly.
Ouch.
That
yeah.
is. I like it. I like it a lot from Aperture.
Is it dangerous picking up the SF so early though?
I think if they want to rely on aura, I would let it go. It's like, okay, we've got your mid hero. I think they kind of expect ACG to play either Shadow Fiend or Invoker as well. So it's not. I know what you're saying. But I think it's just there. Like they want this. They want this as core, and nothing's gonna change. And with the Shadow Shaman as well, this is Strike's hero in this tournament. And also, let's not forget about Chelsea's Legion Commander. He's really powerful.
He's been amazing on this Legion.
Just play the aggressive role and win at it.
But it's hard to lose with the Legion in the lane though, because it's such an overwhelmingly strong hero in a lane.
Yeah.
It really is. And people that jungle it must seriously just stop. Like, this guy is just too good to lane with.
Right. This Vengeful Spirit and Shadow Fiend pickup is pretty interesting, right? Because there's... So you're showing your hand a bit, right? You're showing that you're going with this anti-armor. But at this point, you don't actually have to commit to anti-armor. You can actually do a lot with this. And the thing is that, although you're picking this up early... You're possibly, I mean, we've seen the Slider band out here, so we can really see energy are responding to the anti-armor, right? And this will be sleight of fist, or sleight of hand. And it could be a case where they're actually not looking at the strategy at all. And Captain might say something interesting like that. That's not actually a support venge, but actually a core venge that's just picked up in such a position that you would expect it to be a core. They're kind of, I think, trying to mess around. In fact, you know, with the Dazzle coming out once again, they're getting a lot of anti-armor.
And one thing that I
this
do
is still
love,
solid.
One thing that I do love though is the Underlord pick.
I
We haven't
saw-
seen it yet.
As soon as APG picked that hero, I saw Mr. Potkin smile, and then Strike looked at him and just smiled. I don't know what that means. Like,
It's
we're going to
terrifying.
win, or, oh my goodness, like, we didn't expect this hero at all.
Mr. Potkins is the new face of fear. That's who he is. And if he's smiling, that means that fear cometh.
Fear cometh.
I'm afraid. I'm not even playing this game, and I'm
TA.
having goosebumps and everything.
Is that a safe lane Odu Death Prophet again?
I think Odu's going to play the Death Prophet again. I think at the same draft yesterday, they also had a TA and a Legion Commander. So
And
a very
a Death
similar
Prophet,
draft. Yeah, it's very familiar indeed. And yeah, I think Chosen One is a really good Templar Assassin. Actually, I think
Chosen
any
One's-
hero, any player that played the Templar Assassin was really good in this tournament.
So, I mean, Underlord has actually received a pretty interesting change to him as well that's worth mentioning. He has, is it... Succubus, I feel like you probably know this better than I do, but it has to do with his aura giving additional bonus to his allies now.
Yes.
That's kind of scary next to a Shadow Fiend and a Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, it is. And also it stacks with the amount of damage that you're doing as well. And I mean, that Pit of Malice is, I would say, pretty amazing, because it's not just one route. It's, if you can keep them inside that Pit of Malice, they keep getting rooted. So if they want this to happen, yes, okay, Avenge can stun you once, but then you're stacking disables, which is not ideal. I feel like they need another hero to keep them in that Pit of Malice for long, so Shadow Fiend can get off his combo without having to worry, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all I must say, and I guess this is the second shout out to Demonic of this event, is that every time you say, I just want to go, Pit of Malice!
Pit of Malice!
The only way it's allowed to be pronounced. But yeah, so this is pretty exciting, and this is, of course, a hero that we don't know a huge amount about. We haven't even seen him in competitive play in the previous patch.
Yeah.
So it's going to bring...
We did.
Well, I mean...
In the Masters Legs, we did see him
Oh,
get
alright.
picked up quite a bit, but it had almost no relevance whenever he got picked up. He got banned or picked a lot, but it was mostly the Slaughter and the Centaurs that had the most impact in that role.
Right.
They would try to put him there as the big aura monster, you know, the mech, the GG boots, the pipe, the AC, the Vlads, that type of thing. That's what he would normally go for. But, you know, whenever they picked him up in the offlane, it just felt like it had no real impact in the game. And that's because they didn't have anything to really combo, like this type of lineup here. You know, they nothing to keep them in, you know, where the Underlord could do enough damage to actually stack up the aura to get things working. He was tanky as hell, and, you know, it was really hard to take him down. But, I mean, you really need something to combo up with this guy, and that Undying pick.
Yeah, but this for
this is
APG is what I call a best of one draft. Going all out with the armor reduction. Dazzle's there as well. The weave is pretty strong to go along with the Vengeful Spirit and Shadow Fiend. But yeah, you guys were talking about the Undying, and I agree. This is quite different.
This is a scary drop from energy
Yeah.
because
I like it, but also don't like it at the same time with the Undying pick. Yes, you get the plus 15 extra regen at level, 15? That's absolutely amazing. That's like God tier. But against the Dazzle, your decay is not going to really do much because you're just going to heal back the decay. It's kind of any heal versus Undying early game is really, it's countered a bit.
I hear what you're saying, but to me the problem, the issue for APG right now is how do you fight them?
Yeah.
They're gonna walk. You have to walk into DPLT. You're gonna drop down Serpent Wards, and you're gonna have a Tombstone.
Yep.
It is so hard, especially
really
early
is.
game. Like sure, when you're big and strong enough, you can do anything. But if these guys get together at 6 and start hitting, there is no other than the Underlord, right? There's no front linery that can sort of get in their faces and actually try and soak up some of the damage. And the biggest thing about that is that they might be able to sacrifice eventually sort of like a swap, but they don't have an initiator that can actually get inside and fight there. So this last pick,
Ooh, Tusk.
has to be something that can really do some work, and Tusk is going to be.
It's a really
interesting
good
one.
pick. And also, when you say that Mr. Pottikins is the new face of fear, now I've got no evidence to prove this, but when you mentioned that, I think of Undying. It's
You
like
really
his
think of
final
Undying?
form.
Yeah, the thing is, it is scary. You get a shackle into massive stacks of decay. Drop a tombstone. I mean, if you're running away, you get shackled. You get silenced. You get hexed. I mean, there's no real getting out of it. And early game, I mean, you're not gonna have a Dazzle and Venge trying to right click down this tombstone, the whole time. But it doesn't take much to right-click a tombstone down, to be honest. I mean, if you just focus it and it's gone. But if he puts his positioning right and you have other heroes like a Shadow Shaman, a Legion, a Death Prophet, for instance, coming at you, you're not going to have time to right-click that tombstone. You have to get the hell out, and you're just so slowed. It's rough.
It's going to be pretty hard.
It's
So,
rough.
I mean, we can both clearly see what both drafts are designed to do.
Yeah.
They both can be pulled off. I kind of give the edge here to Energy Esports, just because I think it's easier to perform. But I think it is time that you head over to our casters, good old Little Sheep and Riddits. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, guys, welcome back to the final day of the VS Masters. This is, of course, a loser bracket. Whoever loses here is out best of one. I'm Reddit. Joining me is Scarpy. Scarpy, what did you think?
Well, listening to the panel, I think it's a good idea that we take over from that Foolocracy.
Definitely, I agree.
This is a good time for us to really talk about the important things. This is a crazy draft. We're seeing heroes that we haven't seen from day 1 and day 2, and I kind of expected this coming into the final day. Some surprises, best of one sort of drafts, I feel.
Definitely. Looking at the two drafts, though, I mean, the panel had some interesting discussions about the benefits of both of them. I like the APG draft in a best of one kind of scenario. The whole thing about the Underlord being able to, you can play aggressive and then you're disengaged. One of the biggest problems that teams have in a best of one, the Underlord is there to actually resolve that. But before we continue on that, we might actually see our first blood coming through here. Strike gets caught up, and this is going to be the first blood, I think, maybe, yes, no, for the day, for the loser bracket, and it's going to go the way of Phalanx.
Yeah, and that's
There you go.
It just shows you the power of the ice shards now. There's a new cast points on it, so it's a lot easier to sort of trap people. And I think Bobby's there showing that these ice shards can hold you in position for a very long period of time. So really nice pickup. I like it a lot. I want to see how they're going to use it in lane.
Yep.
And it seems very aggressive. They're going for potentially an aggressive tri-lane here from...
Yeah, well, they have to play
APG.
aggressive when they have an Underlord. You have to be in your opponent's face the whole time and then retreat safely. But looking at the two drafts here quickly, I like I said, APG's best of one draft here, but I think Energy actually got the better of them here.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think the Undying was a really nice pick. Sort of, you have to focus down the Tombstone, and at the same time, then Dreamy's just going to eat away at you. And if you do target Dreamy, those zombies are just going to continuously stack up, and it's just a absolute disaster. So it's going to be all about positioning, but it's always about positioning.
And then you have the decay stacks on top of the Legion Commander overwhelming odds.
Oh, career snipe.
Oh.
Strike. The Empire
Payback.
strikes back.
Yeah, this time it actually works. He did strike back.
Yeah.
He got first blooded, but he's just like, well, you know what? I'm actually going to get the courier snipe in return. So very well played there, coming through. But solo lane Dreamy up against a tri lane, well, not technically solo. Mr. Pottikins is there. But looking at this, I honestly feel this dual lane should do okay up against a try.
Well, one of the things with Underlord, he thrives in any lane that is not a solo lane. He's got so many stacks, 16 stacks of decay, 16 strength stolen. As if he can get multiple units inside that decay
Undying.
area.
You
Yeah,
mean
so sorry, Undying, sorry. He just gets so much. Look how hard he hits PSL there. PSL needs to be careful. Physical damage is extremely
Strike
high.
wants to come up. This is going to be the end of Phalanx. I'm pretty much sure about that. There you go. And Phalanx, Dazzle drops. He got the first blood, but the payback's there.
A nice try with the shards there to try and block them out, maybe reduce the vision, but wasn't going to do much. But look at Pottikins. He can just play so
20
aggressively.
stacks. He has 1,040 HP at level 1. I mean, come on. Are you serious?
Yeah, at the same time, Venge's only got 440. He's really, really low, and it's a big problem. One of the strengths, Undying is extremely strong in the laning stages, and we can see it here.
Now, I honestly think that APG has to think about this and say, is this worth it for us right now? Because they might actually... Let's quickly have a look here. Nope, Mr. Pottikin's just moving in. APG might just give a little bit too much away to the side of Energy if they keep this up.
Yeah, I think another important thing to look at here is this 1v1 lane in the bot. Chelsea's going to have a tough time. O'Malley's got 2 points up into his Atrophy Aura. Chelsea's not going to... He's going to have trouble last hitting. And you can just see the damage. He's on 90 damage already, so last hitting is not a problem for O'Malley. And Chelsea will have a tough time.
Chelsea is literally 5-3 up against PSL's 5 or like 6-3. So it is even. For an offlaner versus your position 1, and you're still, going even. It's not the easiest lane for Chelsea, true. But I honestly do think that even if he just trades off evenly against PSL, that's in the offlane role, but PSL being the core Venge, I think they'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I think Chelsea also had one of the better performances on Legion yesterday. He looked really good on that. So I'm keen to see how he's going to perform here. This time, I feel like his lane is... He's not dealing with the tri-lane or anything like that, so he's going to be able to get something, like you say. He's also not going to be forced into the jungle, so we'll see how that pans out for him.
Yeah, Mr. Pottikins might be in a bit of trouble. There's the snowball coming through. The shards. Unfortunately, pushing Mr. Pottikins away, and Strike busy blocking up his own teammate there. Strike, you need to get out of the way there. The tombstone is dropped. Are they going to continue on chasing this? There's the shackle coming through on Phalanx. Phalanx is in a lot of trouble to get the heal, but unfortunately, Strike comes through with a huge zap and gets the kill.
Yeah, really nice there. So this aggressive tri-lane really not working out for APG, and they sort of in this tight position. If we give it up, it's like we potentially giving up on 2 lanes then, because the Legion's going to be forced out. I mean, the Undying's going to be Underlord, apologies.
There you go. Third time's a charm.
Yeah, so he's going to be forced out. Oh, nice attempt there by Bobules. But one of the things, Bobules, he had a poor shards there, and again, maybe it's just that quick mentality of, it's like the old shard, so he put the cast points in the wrong place, and unfortunately he wasn't able to get a good one there. That could have paid off for them, but now it's starting to look more and more problematic.
Yeah. ACG not having any visions up over the ward area, so of course missing the bottom one out, but we might see another engagement here. Strike is in a bit of trouble. He gets healed up there by Mr. Pottikins. He does drop towards the backside of that fight, but PSL might be in trouble right now. And there you have it. Chosen One rotating in as well. PSL's in. Oh, check for you. Oh, that was so close. First of all, the Hadouken nearly got it, and then it was needed the side blades. But PSL does drop. The tombstone is dropped. Are they going to actually continue on chasing this? Phalanx is in a bit of trouble. Dreamy is poking at it. But a 2-for-1, once again, going in favor of Energy there.
Yeah, that Hadouken, if that wasn't a shallow grave there, that would have been some cheeky stuff. But I believe we do have a quick replay of that.
Let's actually have a look at how close that Hadouken was to actually hitting. The shards were perfect there. The heal coming through from Mr. Pottikins. He does drop early on, but let's quickly have a look. There comes PSL. Dude, these side blade attacks nearly got it. Look at that positioning coming through. And the Hadouken. That was so close, going between both of those heroes. I mean, come on. That was... To be honest, if that Hadouken hit, I would have been done casting for the day. I'm okay. The tournament can go whatever way he wants it.
Yeah.
That was so close.
We, from here on out, support the neutral creep.
Yep. And ACG up on the Shadow Fiend might be in a lot of trouble. He heals himself up. Bob Yules comes in as well. Just trying to stop them or stop something there with the snowball. Energy snowballing themselves.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Another cheeky pun being thrown in there. But yeah, Chosen One, he's doing well in this lane. The SF's not really getting what he wanted. Things are, I suppose, looking a bit poor for them. Their aggro tri-lane not working out, and by having an aggro tri-lane, like you said, there's just no vision in the jungle, which is really to detriment of the ASF at the same time. So their lanes are looking pretty weak here. They're going to have to do a lot to really pull this one back, and ACG taking a lot of damage once again.
Just this right click coming through from Chosen One, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Chosen One picks up a Blightstone very early on, even before he finishes his boots here.
Yeah, I think getting the Bloodstone will be pretty good. He'll get that decent amp. There's a double damage run now. If he does get that, I feel like ACG will more than likely take a tumble. Yeah. So need to be careful for that.
They missed the first stack up on the Ancients. They used the Shrine at the 5-minute mark as well. Well, I think it was at the 6-minute mark, but they missed the stack because they started pulling. Then they used the Shrine, and the Ancients were right around here, so they actually returned back a little bit too early.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you're dealing with an aggro tri-lane, that means your supports need to sit in that lane. And that means it's going to be difficult for them to get stacks off. There's decent stacks in the jungle here, but that is probably going to be mopped up by Dreamy. So it's actually going to be up to C1 to potentially have to stack for himself once he pushes a lane out.
Another stack missed up by APG, but they did, however, get the top one.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I suppose Venge can sort of clear it, but he's not exactly very efficient. He does have Bobules to help out with both Snowball and Ice Shards, but it's not going to be as good as a TA cleaning up.
Yeah, of course. Jungle. I think it will just help with a little bit of the experience deficit that they're currently sitting with, the experience issues that they have, or they could just have ACG come in and actually clear that up, because he is sitting on 44-6 up against 52-11. That extra experience coming through onto the Temporal Assassin. Shadow Fiend level 8. Templar Assassin actually sitting a lower level than him.
Cheers might be in a bit of trouble here. There is a smoke movement. They got a nice ward down.
Huge wraparound coming through, but they turn around, they go on to Strike. Strike will be okay, giving up his life, but once again, Bob Yule's actually trapping this down. There comes the Tombstone coming right up, double damage up on Chosen One. He wants to turn around, go into Bob Yule's. Bob Yule's is going to drop from this. It's actually Mr. Pottykiss taking that, and now ACG, he wants to go in. Is there going to be a shackle in time? No, there is not.
That was close. He was just in range at that moment. So that double damage run, like I said, he managed to find that for himself, and C1 just absolutely destroyed them. And again, just a poor use by Bobules of the shards again. So again, forgetting maybe potentially their cost point for the Ice Shards there, that it has changed.
Yeah, I mean, that's been 2 kills that they've actually not got, and in fact where it was turned around and Energy got the kills instead. At this point I think Energy's playing with 6 players and APG's playing with 4.
Yeah, I suppose it takes some getting used to. It's new in the patch, it's a difficult thing to deal with, and it's just a major issue. So APG, they have their work set out for them now. They've really sort of blown the opportunities that they've had. And we can see now they've given up on that tri-lane. PSL's moved down to the bottom here. Phalanx is taking over there for a little while. I think O'Malley, he's doing okay. He's probably one of the more comfortable players at this stage. He hasn't died.
He has Arcane Boots up, building up towards that mech. And this is the first time I think we've seen him at the VS Masters so far.
Yeah.
Do you perhaps know how many times he was picked up during leg 1? Because of course this is the finals for leg 1, even though leg 2's already started.
Yeah, I mean, big thanks to Sargon, of course, for giving us these stats. He gave us it's 7 picks and 40 bans.
Are you serious?
I suppose it's probably that unknown quantity that people were afraid of, whether or not he's still good or
40 bans.
40 bans, yeah. So it's a big multiple above that of how many times he did get picked up.
Oh, ACG might be in a lot of trouble. He's being slowed up right now. He's being burst out. Do they have enough? The Shallow Grave will be there if they actually decide to turn and burn. But here comes O'Malley. Unfortunately, it's not enough. The snowball is there. Goes straight onto Templar Assassin. But now they want to turn around. Bob Yules is in a lot of trouble. He traps himself this time. I'm telling you, it's 6v4.
Yeah. Maybe he actually didn't read the patch about the cast point on the Tusk, and he's feeling very frustrated at the stage. But
I honestly didn't know about that. So, yeah, I would also be like blocking that up the whole time. But let's just quickly hold off. I think everyone's going to be backing off. So this is actually a perfect time for a replay. Jumping on ACG, look how slowed he is right there. I mean, the Siphon is there, everything is there, but good use of the Shallow Grave there to try and draw them in as much as possible. The thing is, APG needed to turn and burn there. They needed to engage. They needed to move forward with the rest of their team, or they all needed to back. And as soon as that snowball is actually used, you have to move in as a team.
Yeah, and one of the things that C1 has been finding is S4 ruins, to be fair, and he's made really good
Hey,
movements.
there's a reason why he's called the Chosen One, right?
Yeah, there we go. He's made every time he gets a good rune, he makes play with it. He's found a couple of kills for himself, so he's getting himself a good lead. And I think I feel like Bobules really needs to review these shards. He tried again. I believe it's a lot easier to escape now with it, but it's still not an easy task by any means. That block there was not an easy one for him to get out of. So fair enough on that one, but we'll see maybe if he is able to recover from how the Ashrod's mechanics has changed.
Yep. Dreamy, there's 3 heroes here top for energy trying to go on Dreamy. However, they're just going to try and focus his tower down. I actually remember in the olden days, actually, I would like to point something out. Vengeful Spirit, of course, does have a Ring of Aquila, as well as the Shadow Fiend having that Ring of Aquila. I remember the olden days when you would like go 2 Rings of Aquila because you'd be trying to split push on different points on the map. People would get really angry with you because it's a waste.
Yeah, that's that is quite true, and I don't know. I still think that's not a bad point to make.
PSL might be in a bit of trouble himself. He gets the stun off on the Legion Commander, but I hear something coming in. There you have it. O'Malley brings in 3 people, but Chelsea TP's out instantly. So first ultimate coming down here for O'Malley. I was really hoping for something more spectacular there, and it does not hit on anything.
Yeah, that's a massive rotation foresight from APG, and they will get out safely. And at the same time, Dreamy is just farming up a storm. He's having a great time. He's got his eels complete now, flying out to him. He's going to be happy about that. And again, you're moving a lot of heroes into a lane where there's an Undying who thrives in these situations. He's got 2 points up now into his Tombstone.
But I mean, that's what you want with the Undying, is to secure your early game. Mid game, Undying is still okay. Late game, not as much. But Undying is there to secure your mid game, secure your farm for your carry, secure your lanes and your map positioning for your team. So you hit that level 20 mark, and then you have to have someone to take over. The big thing here, though, is Energy has 2 heroes. A Temporal Assassin that has Blink up now. A Death Prophet that's been engaged on a little bit, but that has Yule Scepter up already at 13 minutes. Undying has done his job. Even if he doesn't do a lot moving forward from here, he has done exactly what he needed to. 5,000 net worth at 13 minutes in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
advantage, I mean.
5,000 advantage. But still, I mean, you look over at the TA, he's just so far ahead. The Death Prophet, they're actually rolling in onto him here, but they're just not going to be able to do much. They have to be aware that he's got 4 siphons up now. He hasn't been involved in the fight, so this is a scary individual to be diving into, especially if a quick rotation comes in from Strike and Poddykins like this.
And if Poddykins drops his, if there's any kind of counter engage or engage onto EN, Mr. Poddykins will literally just drop his Tombstone. They'll have to turn and burn on the Tombstone.
Mid lane.
Mid lane. Are we going to see a kill here? Well, that's actually a duel coming through, mostly just to keep APG in place. And do they have enough burst damage? 1 hit needed. There you go. Chosen One blows up ACG.
Yeah, that Blink Dagger now coming into great effect there as he managed to get himself in a good position, make sure he can get that Mole Strike off. He's only got 2 points in side blade, so he has to close the gap.
Tombstone's actually dropped you to secure a tower kill. Now they're pushing up forward. They want to make sure that they actually get this, but Undying's in a lot of trouble. He's actually going to drop from this, but they are going to at least get the tower in return. The swap is there onto Bobules, onto Strike. Dreamy's coming in. There's the Siphon. The next Siphon's also going to be popped up if need be. There you go, onto Phalanx. Phalanx actually heals himself up all the way. Is he going to use his own Shadow Grave? Not in time. The cast for it doesn't help out. O'Malley's going to drop towards the back line there. And the Yule Scepter keeping Dreamy alive. That is the 3rd or the 4th Siphon that's actually used. That's kept Dreamy alive this entire fight.
Oh, and more PSL. Oh, just doesn't get out. Chelsea actually managed to get the overwhelming. It was 4 down for 1.
And you were talking about those 4 Spirit Siphons, even though they weren't long duration. We brought that up. If there's a fight, he's just going to keep himself alive, pop one, pop another one, pop another one. How do you kill him when he has so many Spirit Siphons up, as well as a Yule Scepter?
Yeah, he had a beautiful eels there, though. The snowball was coming on him. It was just so good. And then the ice shots came through after that, and he managed to get himself to the other side of that. So all of a sudden, the Bobules was just caught in a horrible position.
Well, bottom lane, Strike is busy pushing out. Of course, they dropped the Serpent Wards up on the top lane, and that helped out significantly in that fight. Okay, so 4 to 11, nearly 8,000 net worth deficit. That's around 500 gold per minute going in favor or more to the side of Energy. What can APG do now? what should they be doing?
I think APG they need to sort of consolidate and lay claim to the jungle again. I mean, we look at the wards coming out here from Energy. They've completely got a very good idea of what's happening with their opponents. They've got 2 very deep wards, and this is going to really be to the detriment of APG. They're just going to know every sort of movement the supports are doing, where they can go, where they can push, and they've got, like you say, 2 very big abilities for bringing down towers. We see a smoke play coming up potentially between Chelsea and Strike here, and they might look for ACG if they can.
They're busy moving up a little bit, just trying to be careful, but we actually see 1 TP out already. O'Malley is still there. He does have a makeup, but if they scout about, though, he TPs out instantly.
Yeah.
And no yours, unfortunately. But still, Glyph's being used up on the bottom tier 1 tower. Top tier 1 tower is being taken in return by APG. I mean, they need to get something, and this is maybe their something.
Yeah, it's a decent trade for them. It's a good sign for them to maybe get some wards down. They've wasted, I say wasted, but they've bit 2 wards in the top lane, and it's going to be to no real effect now. So the supports, they should be carrying something. I think they only got Sentry, so no real wards on them. So this is maybe not a good trade for them, as they're not going to get vision down.
Well, they're busy counter-pushing. They're just like, well, we can't actually take the fight, so let's try and counter-push. Chelsea comes in, overwhelming odds onto everyone. They get healed up a little bit. But are we going to see any fight coming through right now? They are starting to back off. O'Malley does have his ultimate. But there you go. 2 heroes get caught up. Mr. Pottykiss drops the tombstone. The tombstone gets popped instantly, but it's just delayed them a little bit to actually try and keep Strike alive. But Strike gets blown up. ACG getting off the mark. The swap is there onto Dreamy. Dreamy, he cannot use his Yules. His Yules was already activated. And all of a sudden, things going the way of APG. Chosen One is in a bit of trouble by himself. He does not have Melt. He does not have Refraction. That is 3 heroes down. ACG getting a triple kill. He needed that.
Yeah, this is really big for them. They're going to get a tower. They're going to TP out and look for a second one at the same time. And that's the true power of the Underlord being shown. But on top of that, I think that was a really big play from O'Malley. He got a very good route down, and that meant they had the time to destroy that tombstone quickly before the fight continued. And at that time, Energy was sort of out of position, and it was just a good shard placement this time from Tusk. So Bobby's definitely starting to adapt to that.
I mean, getting the Pit of Malice down in a correct position to delay Energy from jumping them. That is basically what it came down to. Ooh, nice deny try there from Chelsea, but not enough. I think that is what they have to try and focus on, is to keep the Pit of Malice until the tombstone gets dropped. And then you drop the Pit of Malice, take down the tombstone, and then you can fight. If that Pit of Malice is not there, Energy jump you. And you don't want that, because then the tombstone, you can't target that. The zombies are going to slow you. Everything's going to slow you. Everything's going to just take damage. You're going to your HP is going to be removed, or your strength is going to be removed. Everything's going to go wrong for you. That Pit of Malice is so important in these fights.
Yeah. Another thing that happened there that we didn't pick up on is that the career was also sniped in that fight, I believe.
Oh, disaster.
So that's also going to be a decent amount of gold, but a duel now.
There's the duel from low ground, not the best place to duel, but the victory goes through. That is the second victory out for the Legion Commander. Legion Commander might be in a bit of trouble. The Pit of Malice is there. The Blade Mail is being popped up. O'Malley might be biting off more than he could chew, but there you go. Chosen One jumping through. The wards have been dropped here by Strike as well. Now O'Malley might be in a lot of trouble. Dreamy gets that kill. And this is exactly what we just said. You do not want to be jumped by Energy, because they will destroy you.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like Tusk, he'll go down. So 4-for-0 exchange there, really nice. And it's the Deso's now up on Templar Assassin. He's pretty scary.
Without that Dark Rift on the Underlord, you can't push. You can't even be anywhere where you think the enemy might be.
Yeah. I agree with that. Now,
sorry, these wards were just busy farming this camp. Got the last kill there as well.
Yeah, that's it's really nice, and they're also going to find themselves a tier 2 tower. They're so up, so they don't need much more. They have exorcism if they do want to go high ground.
I think they'll probably push Rosh here.
Yeah, I think Rosh. Rosh is far better idea. They got the exorcism up, and that's pretty useful at bringing down Rosh. They also got a medallion up on Undying, and he'll be able to.
So everyone's been talking about the minus armor coming up from APG. There's enough minus armor at this point coming through from the side of Energy themselves.
Yeah, both Deso as well as Medallion, really good. If they can get their solar crystal.
And then minus strength.
Yeah.
And then overwhelming odds.
Yeah, I think it's a good point to make. Avenge is actually a very tanky core. More often than not, he builds pretty tanky. He does a lot of damage as well. So there we go. Roshan is the goal here.
But look at that net worth spike after that one fight that APG actually took, nearly evening out this entire fight. But then APG then Energy just came back, got a couple of kills in return, and just brought the entire game back for them.
Yeah, and that's going to be another 2k net worth advantage now in Energy's favor with that Roshan. So it's just consistently growing. And
be given to Chosen One as well. I mean, this guy's just going to put out so much damage during the next fight.
Yeah, Chosen One's just been playing very well. He's going for the BKB next, so he's going to be close to unkillable going into these tier 2 towers. And I think that's the goal. They want to get these tier 2 towers. If they can get chip damage on the high ground, that would be great. But other than that, they sort of consolidating that we're going to just lay claim to the enemy's jungle.
Big pickup here from the Shadow Fiend. BKB, 10-second duration. ACG's been keeping up in farm. That's the power of having a Radiant Shadow Fiend. You can farm in the jungle, head back into, or farm in the lane, head into jungle, farm into the lane, head into jungle quite easily. It's a lot more, or it's more difficult to do that on the Dire side. And with this BKB pickup, they are looking for a fight. He also has a double damage rune that is just popped, and they won't find anything. I mean, Energy just, they're like spidey senses are tingling right now.
Yeah, I wonder, they didn't go underneath the ward, but I think they definitely know something's up. No one's on the map for a long period of time. Double damage up on Shadow Fiend as well, so that would have been scary.
And they show themselves now in the middle lane, so they're going to be pushing in. There's the Pit of Malice up onto Chosen One. Chosen One does manage to blink out of that due to his refraction charges. Just so OP in my opinion. Do you go at that level 25 for the -8 meld or the extra 3 refraction?
100% of the times you go for the 3 refraction in my opinion. The -8 melt's really good, but you're going to have medallion and things like that, and then it starts to scale a lot less. When
and you already have a -7 on the Deso, but I think there are times where if you go up against extremely tanky heroes, Dragon Knight for example, you might actually want to go for that -8.
Yeah, Dragon Knight as well as Sven, potentially. He has a buff for his allies, so that it's sometime they
Oh, there's the jump forward going in onto O'Malley. O'Malley, of course, does have the Dark Rift if they want to use it. The Tombstone has dropped the one to turn around. PSL does a defensive swap, but there you go. ACG queues up the Requiem. Unfortunately, it's not enough. It doesn't do anything. Can they burst down anyone else? No, the Pit of Malice saves them. That was so dangerous for the side of APG. The Pit of Malice, oh, not the Pit of Malice, the Dark Rift coming up at the exact moment that's needed. Sorry about that. That was a Dark Rift being used.
Yeah.
But still, but they want more. Wait, hold on quickly. There is the duel up onto O'Malley. O'Malley is down. Not yet. There's the Pit of Malice actually trapping 4 heroes. Very well played, but the Yule Scepter will actually get the kill. If nope, it's going to be Chelsea.
Yeah, there we go. So
I don't know why I was shouting Pit of Malice. I think I heard Devin or Helbert saying Pit of Malice the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Pit of Malice! But yeah,
Dark Rift usage, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It was that was a saving grace. Very close though. C1, I suppose if you had the -8 armor multi would have destroyed them there, but obviously.
Just saying.
Yeah, one of the things is the mech that's up or the GG boots make a big difference. They give a huge buff on armor, so maybe you might consider it.
Who has the GG boots up?
The Underlord. So, he's going to have GG boots up. Or he should get GG boots.
He should get GG boots.
Yeah.
But actually building up the 2 braces, so...
Atos? No?
No, or these just casual braces? Because I see he has Shiva's queued up.
Yeah, I believe he will go for Shiva's. That's very sensible. You sort of want to...
I actually don't mind the Atos here. I really don't. To just try and trap that TA, to keep the TA away from the fight because of the rage.
Yeah, potentially force the TA to buy a Manta at that stage. Because he's not even looking in that direction, so if you do, that would be pretty good. But it's another tier 2 tower, and this is exactly what they wanted. They didn't take poor fights.
Quite surprised they aren't going for high ground with the Aegis and Exorcism level 2 up.
Yeah, I think they don't want to take too big of a risk. I mean, this is a best of 1. You don't want to really go YOLO too early and then you lose Aegis and die again because of poor positioning. And it's very difficult to position yourself when you are opting to go on the high ground. I think they want to secure potentially some more defensive items over on to Death Prophet. In fact, he's got BKB. He's going for Shivas. So we'll see. I don't know. I think they just rather play it safe.
And in that previous fight, that was the first BKB usage up for the Shadow Fiend as well?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's okay. It was a 10-second BKB. He got his ulti off, which actually saved his team there. You know, the Dark Rift was great, but also the ulti coming out from the Shadow Fiend slowed down their movement speed and slowed them from really getting any kills. Just a little bit of extra movement speed could be the world of difference there.
Yeah, even though, you know, like everyone always says, oh, no, your Requiem, you know, needs to put out damage or whatever, but the damage reduction and the slow itself is a big thing coming in here. And that's why, of course, ACG did do a long range run. He did manage to catch out a few people. But let's have a look here. Chelsea might be in a spot of trouble. The Shards not going to latch onto him. But they are actually snowballing in right now. Strike is in in a completely wrong position. But no, it's actually going to be Chosen One. He jumps forward. There's the duel onto the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend is going to pop. That's 2 heroes down from the side of APG. They're trying to go into more Bobules. Will he be able to get the TP off in time? He will. But 2 heroes down once again. 11,000 net worth in favor of Energy. They just seem to be getting these fights every time they need it.
Yeah, BKB used there from the TA men. He could just stand in there, put a malice and just beat away. Yeah. And they
Head
just...
failures.
Yeah, there was just nothing he could do. There was nothing they could do to stop this TA. It's at this stage of the game where you sort of, okay, wherever TA is, we need to not be there. Aegis is now done. I think the Aegis timed out. So, but they can't go for this high ground. They know the SF's not there. The Requiem is not going to be a major issue.
Oh, there's the Pit of Malice once again being dropped to try and trap them out. 3 heroes are rooted up. But the wards are there, so they have to try and de-ward these wards. I think this will be fine for the side of Energy. They just wanted to chip damage. They still have the Aegis up, if I'm not mistaken. No, Aegis was down like a while ago, I think. But there's the blink forward up on Chosen One, trying to go for a quick sneaky kill. Unfortunately, he gets stunned up. He gets controlled up completely. He's in a lot of trouble. He has to be careful. Dreamy moving forward, but he gets swapped out himself now. And there's the Walrus Punch, getting the kill up on Dreamy. The mid-tier 1 tower is about a 49 HP left. Dropping Dreamy in exchange for Chosen One. Chosen One actually getting out of there alive.
Yeah, and they're actually going to TP up the whole team up to the top lane. They want to actually get chip damage themselves onto this tier 3 tower.
Power of Underlord.
Yeah, and now they all got to TP back and actually...
Rod of Atos is queued up right now. I like this a lot coming up from O'Malley.
Yeah, I can agree.
O'Malley.
Skipping out on the Shivas entirely now, but it's fair enough. The plate mail's more than enough armor. They got a bit of chip damage here, but I think they're doing the right thing here. Get themselves on out. They have weave on them, though, for a decent amount of time. But I think it's pretty high risk to be pushing into the high ground.
5 seconds up on the DP. There is still a shrine available, so even if they take the fight, DP can TP up to the shrine and try and backstab them. A couple of the heroes can. Chosen One can as well. So, yeah, I do agree with this. It's just getting like a quarter or a sixth or an eighth damage on the tower every time they can. They're going to need it.
The biggest problem with that fight from Energy, the TA jumped onto the high ground without a BKB. His BKB was on 16 seconds cooldown when I was looking at it. And he just jumped into a Pit of Malice, and the Ice Shards positioned him poorly, and then he was completely useless. He didn't really get too much damage done.
When was the Aegis popped? I actually do not know.
It timed, I think. I think it timed out, if I'm not mistaken. I believe
Most likely, because we will actually see how long Rosh is going to be up for in a couple of minutes. Let's have, or a couple of seconds. There you go. So Rosh is actually a 2-minute like respawn timer.
Yeah, 2 minutes exactly now. So that's quite nice.
It is quite a long Rosh respawn, so that actually does favor the side of APG.
Yeah, I think APG will be happy with that because they don't have very good control of their map. They the only sort of access they have are their shrines, and their tier 3 tower is so low. I think TA can actually just blink up here and kill it. Then they can really get rid of the shrine. So they need to make sure this mid lane is consistently pushed out, or they're going to find themselves in a very tight spot with very, very poor access to the jungle and to Roche.
I think one of the big things coming up now is going to be the buyback, to see who on the side of APG does have buyback. And at this point, it's only the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
That is problematic.
Yeah, and most of them are quite far away from it. 500. I think only the Tusk is pretty close to 70. So, I mean, it's okay. They're moving around as a unit now, but as you can see, mid lane, Energy know exactly what their goal is. Push this lane out before someone is going to be forced to come back and make sure that this tower doesn't fall. But if not everyone's here, the TA can easily just blink and just kill it.
Yep.
But
O'Malley's not the easiest target to do that, especially if TA blinks and gets a toss. But O'Malley can, I mean, the wave clear coming up for the side of APG is decent. They just have to be very careful because of that. I mean, O'Malley had to move forward. He had to right-click that. He had to try and force that capital away. Catapult. Capital. That one.
Words are hard. Don't worry about it. Words are difficult. But
can you English?
yeah. But there we go. Instantly, they're going to take out the Shrine, the easiest access to Roshan. This might need to be defended here by APG. We can see movements in that direction, but they got that chip damage decently done. Yep. They have good vision. They knew exactly what was coming at them. So
the little shrine. I mean, the shrine is like a cup, right?
Yeah.
It's like a cup holding the ancient waters of life or something. So it's like a glenoid shape here.
Yeah. That's
actually quite cool. I never actually thought about the cup here for Radiant actually holding the Fountain of Youth.
I always view them as moonwells from Warcraft 3.
That is very, very, very true.
Yes, so it always makes me just, and it heals you. It is a moonwell. I don't know why we don't call it.
It is a moonwell.
Yeah, so
I'm literally going to start a Reddit thread tomorrow about this.
Yeah, I think there might be copyright issues, but
well, I mean, you can call it a well moon. I mean, come on, try and do something to just get that nostalgia factor back in. But I'm making a note about this.
The well of the moon.
Moon, well, Reddit thread. Those of you guys watching on stream,
don't copy.
Just check that out tomorrow. Just going to upvote that a little bit. Yeah. I know you aren't allowed to plug Reddit threads, but please do.
But this is pretty big for them. They managed to pick up Aegis now onto Chosen One. He's got BKB, Butterflies queued up for him. He's pretty wealthy now. He's going to be a difficult target. And this time on the high ground, he is going to have a BKB charge. So the previous one, he didn't.
He's only used one BKB charge so far, and he's had it for so long. I'm actually impressed here.
Yeah. So look at how long you get rooted down there if you don't use your BKB inside that Pit of Malice as well as with the ATOS. So I agree, it's a really, really nice pickup here from O'Malley to control both the TA as well as the DP. But there we go, wards dropped.
Oh, there you go, there's the Blink in for it. Is he going to turn around and ATOS? Anyway, Dreamy's in a lot of trouble. ACG actually doing so much damage here. He is clobbering the side of energy. They might actually go down. That is the Aegis down. The Roots is there, used onto the Shadow Shaman. Actually used very well to control him up. Now it's going to be Chosen One. Chosen One versus the world. Can he do anything? He gets blown up. ACG just does so much damage to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, that's just huge. And
here we go. O'Malley wants to go straight in. He wants to go into their strides. They want to try and backstab. Will they be able to catch out Dreamy? They need to get into the Rod of Atos range. It is going to be ACG. He's trying to chase. He's trying to find what they can. Dreamy does get scouted on. Can they do anything? He gets away. APG managing to defend. They live to fight another day.
Yeah, but they lost melee racks there. That's probably a big thing. The mid lane is going to constantly push out. But really good work from APG and ACG himself. But we do have a replay of that.
Let's actually check this because ACG, I actually want to see how did he do so much damage. He has his Butterfly up. The wards are dropped. They're just focusing the raids or the racks the whole time. He casts his BKB, targets the Tombstone the whole time. But just look at the amount of damage. He's just right-clicking away. They don't have anything to deal with him once. If they can't focus him and if they can't target him, he is going to destroy the entire team.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened there. That was a very difficult fight, and one of the biggest things to really point out, Shadowfiend, I think he gave up on his buyback and bought a Butterfly, and he was just dishing out damage.
To be honest, I was worrying about that because if he dies, it's a big problem. But the amount of damage he did, he's literally right-clicking right now for over 366 damage a shot. Plus, that is that +2 damage soul coming into play at that fight. Yeah. +2 damage per soul.
Yeah, it was really big. He's hitting.
My word!
He's hitting extremely hard and well positioned. So forfeiting on that on his buyback for this Butterfly.
Hey, but he has buyback now.
Yeah, it's sort of like forfeiting for your BKB because he was just able to secure a high ground defense and buy his team that extra bit of time. So a high risk but high reward coming at you from ACG with that lane.
And we're starting to head into that phase of the game where, in my opinion, I do like APG's draft with that Shadow Fiend. I mean, who has the better late game here? You have, basically, it comes down to TA versus Shadow Fiend. Death Prophet's always good late game. Always good late game. But she isn't as tanky as she wants to be.
Yeah, at the stage of the game, not really in a good position. Doesn't have any sort of real stats. Has the BKB really as a defensive thing. But, I mean, SF just was hitting her so hard. She consumed cheese in that fight, is something we also must consider. And that made very, very little difference. Now he's got Shiva's guard, but still, that's going to help at least with the armor issues. But it's not that massive HP that you get from the Octarine core or the Heart.
This is literally the time in the game where the minus armor actually comes into play. Everyone talks about an early game, ooh, you could dominate this, that. No. It is at this mark, at that plus 35-minute mark, when you have a Shadow Fiend with minus armor, we have a lot of minus armor coming in, and then those plus 2 damage per soul.
Yeah, and we must keep in mind the plus 2 damage per soul, plus the damage bonus that you get from Vengeance Aura, plus the minus armor coming out from Venge, and the minus armor coming out from Shadow Fiend. It's just a lot of physical damage.
So in other words, Shadow Fiend should just have a big plus like on top of her name.
Yeah, so Shiva's is absolutely necessary onto the Death Prophet. They need an AC somewhere. They don't have an AC, so I think they desperately need it. It's actually queued by Legion.
Yeah, but they also need an MKB now to try and deal up against the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I think they do have Solar Crest though, so that's something that we must keep in mind. It does provide True Strike, so if they can get that down on ACG, that will be great. Then you don't have to really worry about getting MKB. But that again, that has to be great positioning by the Underlord, who's a very sort of sluggish hero.
Undying, you mean?
Undying. Sorry, did I say Underlord? I don't know. Oh, it's early.
You've been calling Undying Underlord all the time, but I get it because I'm actually following you, so
yeah.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so I mean the Solar Crest, he's very sluggish. He doesn't have mobility, so he needs to be in a really, really good position.
And Undying, literally, he secured the early game for energy. He's going to start fading off, so he has to go utility moving forward right now. And he needs to get some kind of mobility item. A Force Staff, I think, would be great. Not a Blink Dagger, because you might get trapped towards the backside by mistake by Venge or by Underlord himself. You know, there's so many things that could trap you towards the back end. I think you need to get that Force Staff also to help your team out when they are in the Pit of Malice, when they are engaging, or when they are swapped out. You need a couple of Force Staffs up. There is one Force Staff up on the Shadow Fiend, but you still need to be able to get in there, I honestly think, from the Undying side.
Yeah, he's getting pipe, so I was going to say Glimmer Cape, but he's already going to have a pipe up, so he's not going to pray. I think Force Staff could be pretty good. Even a Rod of Atos is not poor. But there's BKB, so I don't think
if you're pushing up onto high ground, is the Rod of Atos worth it?
No, you need vision, unfortunately, so he's going to need to be on the front lines.
And then even if you are busy sieging from here and you Rod of Atos someone at the max range, roughly around here, is that really going to help?
Yeah, that's pretty much the problem. The thing is he needs to just close the gap so he can get the Solar Crest down. He's more than likely going to die in almost every situation.
But he needs to maybe get 1 or 2 decay stacks off, drop his Tombstone, get the Solar Crest off, ulti and go in and die. Pull in that damage. Pull in the right clicks coming through from the Shadow Fiend. Try and force the Shadow Fiend to turn on him, which will allow his Legion Commander, his Chosen One, and yes, that's a Templar Assassin, but Chosen One, as well as Dreamy, to do the damage. He has to absorb as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's his job, his Tombstone and him.
He has a good opportunity for energy to put some chip damage on the high ground once again as they smoked up.
Are we going to see the jump in? There you go. There's a jump into the Dazzle instantly. There's a winner, chicken dinner up for the Legion Commander. Only 64 damage at this point being taken up here, dual damage. But the wards are all blah 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 blah. The wards have been dropped here towards the bottom tier 1 to tier 3 tower. Come on. And the blink forward is there. There's the 2 BKBs being popped by Chosen One, but it is, of course, going to be the Moonwell being popped as well. Swap out in onto Chosen One. Chosen One's in a lot of trouble. He gets healed up. The Pit of Malice catching so many heroes out. Who's going to be the first one to drop? There's just so much. Chosen One blinking it towards the backline, going in for the Vengeful Spirit. The Vengeful Spirit is still alive. He cannot kill him. O'Malley's going to be the first one to drop here for that side. Well, not the first one, but that's going to be 3 buybacks. Dreamy is doing so much damage here with his ultimate. He has to try and run away. It's only the tier 3 tower. The wards are still attacking the race tower. Gem of True Sight is there, but Shadow Shaman, he turns around. He's like, guys, I will sacrifice myself, try and kill or like try and delay up the Shadow Fiend, but they want more. O'Malley wants to go up onto Dreamy. The roll is there by Bob Yours. Oh, the shards missing it out. But 3 buybacks being used there by the side of Energy. What a fight coming through from both of the teams.
Yeah, it shows what one item can do. The Shivas has made a big impact there. The SF couldn't just instantly kill him. He was really difficult to bring down Dreamy, and it just was a great turnaround from the side of Energy.
But how did the Vengeful Spirit survive so long? It literally felt like miss after miss after miss.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
He's tanky. That's something that I brought up a little bit earlier. He's an extremely tanky hero. People often underestimate that. His stat gain is really good.
And did you hear I called it Moonball?
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that.
Just like putting it out there.
Yeah.
I think from now on we call it Moonwalls in all of our casts.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so. I like it.
Scorpio approves this message, guys.
Yeah. But it's... All right, so I believe we do have a replay. I really want to see this replay.
That's actually a long fight, but I want to see how many misses that happened because the wards are dropped. This is perfect. Glyph, everything is used. Dreamy is there, just busy chipping away. The blink forward up onto the Temporal Assassin, and of course they have to back out. He gets swapped out instantly. There you go. And now they have to decide, do they turn around, run away, which they started to do. They got trapped out, but then they moved forward again. But look at how many misses were coming up here. He was just trying to kill PSL, but he couldn't, and that's also because of O'Malley. The mischance, the atrophy aura, everything coming into play there. It was a 4-for-2 exchange.
Yeah.
With 3 buybacks.
Yeah. So I think it was actually a 5-for-2 exchange there. So I mean, it's really big. And to touch on that, the Tombstone had a big play. There were 4 charges up on the Siphon, which is right now. There's a big fight at Roach Pit.
There you go. The Tombstone has been dropped. Pit of Malice to 1 hero, but Underlord is being shackled up. The Requiem of Soldiers is there, trying to destroy the Tombstone as much as possible, but 1 hero's already down. It is the Underlord. They're disengaged. They're everything. Underlord, my Underlord, you are down. Followed up by the Shadow Fiend. This might just be game. There's no buybacks of both of those heroes.
Yep.
Underlord, yeah, no buyback. Shadow Fiend, no buyback. Game has been paused.
Ooh, yeah.
Did something maybe happen here?
I am unsure. A misclick. Yeah, he's apologizing for a misclick there.
Okay, so no shenanigans, no DCs, no nothing coming through there, but Underlord being controlled up. I mean, I actually want to point out the positioning here that came up. The Shadow Shaman was up here, shackled the Underlord, and then they couldn't do anything. The Tombstone was dropped, keeping the Shadow Fiend inside. The Shadow Fiend had to attack that. They had to attack there. It literally split up their entire fight. They couldn't do anything. APG was caught out of position.
Yeah, and now double damage.
With their pants down.
Yeah, now they got double damage on C1. They're just going to mop up the space. It doesn't look like they're going directly for the end. Probably in fear that maybe a decent defense comes out, but they will be able to just secure himself, make creep. Oh,
there's the duel, and he just gets completely destroyed.
Yeah, poor Phalanx, really. It's difficult. Double damage, Templar Assassin, the blink jump from the Legion Commander.
Chelsea literally invaginated his sword into the poor little support.
Yeah, that was a good point you made there. Really nice use of words. But tier 4, this seems to be game. This is going down so quickly. 25 seconds on SF. That's way too long.
I mean, the buybacks are down. They can't do anything, but they won't call GG just yet up until like this exact point, because if APG loses here, they are out. But just look at that insane burst coming through, and the GGs, of course, were called towards the end of that. The big thing, though, is the decay stacks, the overwhelming odds, the amount of minus HP, minus stat, minus everything, and then you have a Death Prophet that they can't kill because they have to target the Undying, they have to target the Tombstone, they have to target the Temporal Assassin. Deathy just stands there, does so much damage. Chosen One blinks in, does so much more damage, more minus armor, more everything. That is why I said in the beginning, even though I honestly think that APG had an amazing best of 1 draft here, Energy outdrafted the best of 1 draft. Energy best of 1, APG's best of 1 draft, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and we said APG lower bracket kings, they're going to be dethroned now by Energy. And I mean, just looking over, I just want to look at one quick stat here, is the damage that came out from the Legion Commander. The overwhelming odds in a lot of those fights was something that we probably neglected. It dished out a tremendous amount of damage. He almost did as much damage as the Templar Assassin in that game.
But I think that also comes down to the strength removal from the Undying.
Yeah, and at the same time, unexpected hero to be topping those shots with 20k net damage isn't Underlord, and we must keep in mind that his fire does percentage damage. That's why he's getting so much damage down.
The problem with this draft from APG was the Vengeful Spirit. They went up against a Undying. Amazing last pick coming through there. That is exactly, I mean, Energy read that so well.
Yep.
And how can you fight against that? Sure, you have a Dazzle, you have a Venge, you have a Tusk, but that Venge was non-existent during those fights. I mean, the Tusk nearly did as much damage as the Venge. Sure, the Venge got some good positioning swaps. It wasn't enough. What do you do there?
Yeah.
The Venge was basically ACG versus the world in regards with trying to stand there. And O'Malley with the damage. I think they needed something else instead of the Venge.
Yeah, I think that was sort of lost at the stage where they decided to go for an aggro lane into an Undying. The Undying is just too strong against that. Their tri lane was just absolutely decimated. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all I can add on to the back of that game. And unfortunately, APG will be out of the tournament in 4th position.
Well, guys, on that note, I'm Reddit. Joining me was Scarpy. This was the amazing VS Masters lower bracket game. We're going to be heading back to the panel, and then, of course, it's going to be the winner bracket final, WRG versus XTC. I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Great, welcome back, guys. It's pretty interesting that this matchup had quite a bit of flair to it, I would say. The selection of heroes that we got from APG was something quite special. But I'll let you guys chat a little bit about why that was.
I think it started off really well for APG to... Well, let's just talk before APG even. Yeah, they played Energy first game, best of 3, didn't get the win off them. And they were pretty determined. I think they got off the lower brackets pretty well. They were really strong, showed a lot of promise, but unfortunately the Fraticity didn't go towards their way against Energy's matchup again. But in the beginning, we talked about their draft, and it was nice. They started off really strong with the Auras, Vengeful Spirit. I kind of think that suited the roster of the draft really well. Also, last pick, well, Reddit's mentioned that the Tusk, it showed a lot of promise there. O'Malley played a really good Underlord. There was a replay where they had a fight at their own base, and then they had to go, they teleported at the shrine to try catch Odu again, which was really amazing to watch. And they could have had him if it was maybe 1 second less.
No, it really was very exciting, and I think showing a little bit of what might be to come. In fact, I do think it's worth probably taking another look at it.
Yeah,
so
no, for sure.
Let's jump into that quickly. So, I mean, just look at the damage. This is what I really want everyone to pay attention to, is look at that DP. He is absolutely being smashed. He obviously changing his attention to the tombstone for a bit, but in the end, you can just see every hit of that SF is very, very monstrous. And at this point, this is a side that has a significant gold lead, and they are fighting under the power of the LTs, the Shadow Shaman Awards, and there was a tombstone sitting there. And look at the damage done in the end. It's just, it's huge, and we kind of expected it. But I mean, pretty impressed. Succubus, I'm sure you have something to add.
Yeah, definitely, and also like it looked like they could actually bring it back. At a stage, especially since it was getting later and later. I know we look at the draft. I honestly thought that, that Energy had the late game because they had the Death Prophet, the TA, the Legion. But I mean, you have to look at the Underlord. He gets really scary late game, whereas Undying just completely falls off, and it's not fun facing that late game. The PSL Venge was very underwhelming as later and later it got, but the SF got absolutely huge. And it looked like, when Energy was trying to take the high ground, and they struggled to get a Rax every single time. And as soon as they got the Dazzle kill without the buyback on the Dazzle, that's when it opened up. They took the bottom Rax, I believe, straight afterwards. Another hero got caught as well trying to defend. There's nothing they could do after that. So I think the Dazzle being out of position, getting caught without a buyback, that was the big turning point. But okay, guys, now we can actually take Rax, because they struggled to just take the tier 1 mid. I mean, the tier 3 mid. But as soon as that happened, boom, done. That's your advantage gone. Then they suddenly went from 12k net worth lead to 21,000 net worth lead straight after that. So it was a huge swing.
Well, of course, the end result is that APG will be no longer with us. It's at least cemented to the last day. It's been, it is in its own right a bit of an achievement.
Yeah.
And I believe they're leaving us with a little bit of a gift. We have a signed mouse pad. It's such a cool mouse pad, actually. Look at the size of this thing.
Yeah, it's
We got Stacy chilling on it right now.
Yeah, no,
Carefree.
she's enjoying it.
She's really chilling. Like she
Yeah.
is reclining on it, right next to PSL's name. So as you can sound mousepad for somebody to win, you should take a good look at the social media to make sure that you know how. And obviously they'll be going away. It's also pretty special. In fact, as I understand, we're just moments away from selecting that winner. I guess so at this point I can also say that, talking about APG leaving, I think you saw in the booth that they were actually, they were pretty like sad that they were out. I think they felt like they could have won it and they didn't. But I feel like...
They surprised me.
But I must say that once again, making it to the last day here would be pretty... I think in that own right, they would have had a lot of fun. This has been a really fun event. I mean, the vibe with all the players and everyone involved outside has been great. I would say our productions also had some fun. I mean, definitely I think our production manager, I don't know, he was probably dropped on his head or something, or suffered from masopathia at birth, because he's a little bit crazy, but we like it though.
Yeah, I think he's suffering from some sort of disease, so I would call him a bit viralicious. He was probably like obtained a brain disease here.
Feels like you guys just been to a biology class, came back to the panel.
Viralicious. What's your one again? Sorry?
Masopathia.
Wow. Disease of what? The ovaries or
the placenta? I
the
believe.
placenta.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
Let's go back to Dota 2.
Yeah, let's go back to Dota 2. Stop ripping on a person who works very, very hard and tirelessly and gives us a lot of fun in this panel. So, yeah, obviously, MPG. Sometimes I wonder if this comes through on
stream.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Sometimes he comes through on the stream. So, hello, Mike.
he's ripping us a new one on stream in our heads right now.
You shouldn't actually mess with the production guys, right? Just saying. So,
Yeah.
Mike, go easy on us, please. It was
We
all
love you,
fun.
Mike. We're sorry.
Now they love you. I've always loved you, Mike.
Just waiting for like the subtext to change. Like
Yeah.
person who's not very good at this. And,
Oh yeah. It's gotta be nice to the guys.
yeah. So, well.
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah. So we just heard who the winner of the mousepad is, and congratulations to Christopher House,
AKA Sagan.
Yeah.
I
Why
would
not?
like that
Why
mousepad.
not?
I'm going to become his best friend and say, hey, I want a APG mousepad.
Yeah. No. Basically, I know what I'm doing after this. I'm going to hunt down the APG guys and try to get my own signed version of this. So
That'd be
congratulations.
good,
Yeah. I mean, but that's nice. 'Cause that's really cool. I guess on that note, let's do say one final farewell to the person who's not very good. I feel like I set myself up for that as I drop my notes. It's not working out here for me.
Sorry, we said we have viralicious.
Wait,
and
very
we
important. Can we have something for Succubus as well? She was in on this.
What was I on again? What was
I feel like, in fact, if I may, this was her idea. Just let's see. What do we give her?
Oh no! What am I? They're revealing secrets, guys. I'm scared.
Shall we reveal some secrets?
Just so you know, Succubus, I've got
I got
this.
it. I don't think her hair is truly red. She's not a natural red.
No, I am not. I am half German and I am half Dutch. I am blonde with
Right.
blue eyes. The stereotypical.
Right, so Succubus, not natural redhead.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Right.
if you look at my arm hair, I don't know if you can zoom in on that. It's pretty blonde.
So you're natural blonde?
Yes, I'm a natural blonde.
That makes two of us.
I like. Well, there we go. A person whose idea this was. We'll take that. We'll take that. Right.
I don't think I've ever seen an Asian as a natural blonde. That's going to be pretty interesting, though.
Yeah. So
An
I have to
Asian
dye
is
it
a-
black every day.
Really.
Yeah, so people think I'm normal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You can see actually on the hairline a bit of the regrowth. I look bald because my hair is actually blonde.
Aren't the lights great for that?
Yeah, I know, right?
Literally, sometimes I look
The
at like,
blinding
I'm
light.
not that bald in real life. I look like I'm balding, but
Well,
I'm not, guys. I promise.
we have keeper of the light right here, blinding us. But in all seriousness, in all seriousness, APG really surprised me. I didn't think they were gonna be this good. With the way that they contested energy, they won. I mean, they didn't win in the end, unfortunately, but they really did surprise me. They actually, looking at their performances throughout the last couple of weeks has been not so great. And it feels like a little bit of the old APG came back just for a few moments in this match.
I'm so glad you said that, because my sort of hope is that this isn't the case. We're like, we just put everything into that and we still can't win.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they look back at this and then they go, we put everything into this and it wasn't quite good enough. But
We
it's
did
better.
better. We did better.
Because I mean, who wouldn't like to see good old APG make a comeback?
Yeah,
Rain, so I mean, I'm sure you have something to add. You've been a little bit quiet in the
Yeah,
corner. It's your turn.
No, I was giving you the spotlight for a while. I know that you
I
kind
don't
of
know, the
angered the
spotlight
production.
is we have enough of that
It's
right now,
already
so
all
please,
here,
please
yeah,
go for
sure.
it. Yeah.
No, I was just going to mention that as panelists, in the background, we predicted, I think it was WRG, XTC, Energy, APG
Yeah.
as top 4.
Yeah.
So far, we're okay. I'm excited for next game. It's WRG against XTC on the best of 3. And it is going to be a very tough head-to-head. I am not going to be surprised if XTC wins this 2-1, but WRG is really strong. You can see that they have, even on screen, really serious players. Kind of exact opposite of the Mythic guys who are smiling about, it's like, we're just going to go head to it, we'll try our best and try to win. But WRG is a team that, second best is not what they want. They want to win every single tournament in South Africa and go beyond that, and it is quite scary to see.
XCC are super confident. Like, they are super confident. And as you said, I mean, we got together on the Thursday, the day before the event, as casters, as panelists, and we sat down and made a list of who we predict and where these teams would place. And I believe it was APG 4th. It's happened. Then it was, I think, XTC 3rd, Energy 2nd, and WRG 1st.
Actually, to be fair, I believe we before the event started, put XTC at 2nd place.
At second?
Did we put it on? Okay.
Yeah.
But honestly, for me, it's going to be unpredictable here because the way Energy's playing and the way XTC's been playing, it's really hard to place who's going to come 2nd or 3rd here. And I definitely also have faith that XTC can also do what Energy did yesterday and take a game with WRG. It's very possible. I mean, we have some exceptionally strong players in XTC. And not only that, they work so damn well together. So damn well.
Would you gentlemen agree, or lady and gent, excuse me?
Well,
it's something. It's a phrase I use too much.
Devin just called me a boy.
I called you a gent.
You called me a gent.
At least you're gentlemanly.
Gentlemanly. Wasn't the high heels enough for you yesterday? Jeez.
Is that why
the ones that Reigns was wearing?
Yeah, no, Reigns.
Yeah.
She borrowed it from me on occasion. It doesn't look that on panel.
You don't really see the feet.
The
That's
bear-
why we're all actually wearing high heels right now,
Yeah.
except for Succubus.
I'm wearing slippers though. It's nice and comfortable.
You're now titled the bear of SA Esports.
It's interesting
The
how
bearded
it's
bear.
evolving. I
Is
think it was just panel host when we started. But sure, why not? Why not? Apparently, it's a promotion.
It's a promotion.
Okay.
I still like to call you whole baby bird beard.
I know.
It's happening.
I'm scared that we're starting to bring these things into the
Yeah.
forefront.
Guys, I will give away. Okay, I don't have an Arcana. The most valuable item in my inventory. If everyone starts calling whole
what is
baby
this?
bird beard, please.
That I don't feel like we should do this.
Hey,
I feel
how
like
baby bird
I
beard?
will give away.
Oh snap!
I'm gonna
Ray,
win. I'm
you
gonna
have
win.
won this.
I'll give away an actual Arcana if you don't.
Yeah, because no more trading on. What is it?
I stocked up. Let's just leave it at
Dota
that.
2 Lounge. You stocked
Well,
up for trading and
I'm-
it just got banned.
Yeah, I'm good for Arcanas for a while. So I've completely lost my train of thought. Thank you so much for this. I remember what I actually wanted to go to. Reigns. So obviously we're going into this Energy WG game. Sorry, WG XCC game. But comparatively, Energy have had like a really hard time getting to it. And they've gone through APG twice now to get to this point.
Yes.
I feel like XC have had less trials
Yes.
getting to this winner bracket final than Energy did.
Their seeds have been extremely easy.
So, do you think that that means? But I think that what they did is put the spotlight on Energy. We saw how good Energy are, right? Do you think that we've been left in a position where XC are better than they look, but we haven't really had an opportunity to see it?
Are we going to see more scary version of them?
I think so. I mean, up until yesterday, I didn't know how good Energy could be until they faced the top team and they really showed their true colors and what they can actually do. So I feel like we're going to have a very similar situation here with XTC. Because
Yeah.
it's been relatively easy games for everyone so far, well, in the top tier, in the top bracket of the Masters. And, I don't think XTC have had their time to shine in this LAN yet. And this is going to be the game.
I would like to comment on Energy as well. I think they had their way a lot of times. I think getting Legion Commander on Lucker is a very good luxury
Dangerous.
pick, especially on the first pick. I think XTC is going to need to ban the likes of them. And also, we can't forget Strike Shadow Shaman. He's won every game. He knows how to play this hero. And it's just got to be they just got to be careful. I think rather ban out the favorites and then go on from there in XTC's perspective.
I mean, Lucker's Legion this tournament has been, I would say, God tier.
Yeah.
And Strike's Visage yesterday, what a pleasure to watch.
Yeah.
What a pleasure. I was just like, I haven't seen this hero in such a long time. And
we just geek out a little bit there.
yeah, I did.
a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. We all have those moments.
But
it means it's healthy, right? You're still enjoying the sport.
Yeah, of
I
course.
I had the biggest smile on my face. I was like, just love it.
Well, there you have it. You want to impress a girl? Play Visage well. Right, guys.
At least let's go.
Fair enough. Okay, so I guess we are going to go into a little bit of a break now. So hang around because it is once again one of the big ones. XTC versus White Rabbit Gaming coming up soon. But until then, we'll leave you with some nice holding music.